Welcome to the Reno Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button at any point on your screen and ask our presenters questions. Your camera and microphone are off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions happening, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And this presentation will be recorded and it will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And with that, I'll turn it over to our first presenter, Beacon Hall.
Hi, everyone. I am Katie Rinke from Beacon College. I am the Assistant Director of Transition Services and Outreach at Beacon. We are located in Leesburg, Florida, which is about an hour outside of Orlando. We exclusively serve students with learning differences. So those are students with a learning disability, ADHD, or on the autism spectrum. You have to have one of those learning differences to be accepted at the college. We have been rated #1 in the top 20 best value colleges for students with learning disabilities. So we're really proud of that. We will automatically provide students accommodations because we know that that will help them to be successful in college. We have 7 different degree programs that you can choose from at Beacon. They're listed on the screen, but one of our most sought after degree programs is anthrozoology, which is the study between how humans and animals interact. We're one of only 2 programs in the country, so a lot of students are really interested in gaining some experience in that area. We also have 2 pre-enrollment programs that we're really proud of, and so one of them is our 3-week Summer for Success program that happens every July. This is for students who have completed the 10th grade up until graduating from high school. And so you can come on campus for a college immersion experience. You can take 3 classes with us that are not credit bearing, but you can get to the experience of living on a college campus for 3 weeks away from home and get that experience here in Orlando and get to just see what college is like to see if Beacon is a good fit for you. The other option that we have is called Navigator Prep. It's also a pre-enrollment program. You get to work with a transition counselor, which I am one of. You get to work with the students and your family to get you ready to go to any college. You don't have to come to Beacon College to take advantage of the preparation during your senior year. We will offer this to both juniors and seniors. Our first program starts in November. So if you have any interest in kind of working on any skills that you need to be able to go to college, it is not tutoring or academic based, but we work on executive functioning skills, social skills, emotional regulation, making sure you understand your learning difference, and then also your independent living skills. So this is a really great way to connect with students from around the country. We're located in Florida, but we work with students all over, from Florida to Washington to Hawaii, wherever you might be, we're happy to work with you. So if you have questions about Beacon College, I know that that's a brief overview, but please put them in the chat and I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Our next presenter tonight is St. John's University.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Let me just share my screen here. All right. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anthony Treadwell. I'm the counselor here for St. John's University, and I cover Nevada, California, pretty much the entire West Coast. So any of your questions, you can definitely reach out to me after this, and I'm also the one who will be reading your applications. So with that being said, I'd like to start off with my first slide. The first slide, one thing I'd like to point out about St. John's, if you know about us, we are a school located in the city of New York. However, we do have a green campus, so it's not just tall buildings, concrete, everything like that. So that's one thing I like to point out for my West Coast students. So the different campuses that we have are the ones in Reno, New York. So Queens is our largest location, about 15,500 students strong. Then we have a Staten Island location with about 2,000 students. So it really depends on the type of environment you're looking for, if you're looking for medium size versus small. Manhattan is a very specialized campus. So that's specifically for risk management, actuary science, and business students. So depending on your major, you can pick either of the 3 campuses, but Queens is the biggest campus in our main campus. The ones you see in blue are campuses that we have overseas. So we have a campus in Rome, a campus in Paris, and a campus in Limerick, Ireland as well. Some of our key numbers, we have just over 17,000 students with a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio, 47 different states represented, 123 different countries. We have over 180 different clubs and organizations on campus, and we have 17 Division I sports teams, and we're in the Big East Conference. We have just over 100 plus majors. This is just a breakdown of the colleges within the university. So we have a College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, our College of Professional Studies, Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Education, and our Business School. Our honors program is when you apply for admission, you are automatically considered for it. So if you meet the criteria for that incoming year, you will get an automatic invitation to it. For double majors and minors and our multiple dual degree options, if you have any interest in those, you can ask me about that. Living on campus, I'll briefly talk about this. So we have suite style living for the most part. Suite style is just 4 rooms in a suite, 2 rooms each side of the suite, single, double, triple, or quad, 2 bathrooms at each end of the suite, which I think is amazing. So if you have that one roommate that uses the bathroom way too long, you do have an extra bathroom so you never have to fight over it. And then for the other style of living, we have traditional style. There's only 2 buildings on campus that are that way, so you may never get traditional style, but typically they're a bathroom and 2 rooms on each end of the bathroom. So as I mentioned before, we're Division I athletics. This is just a list of all of our sports. Unfortunately, we don't have football, so I know a lot of people love football, but we are a basketball school. We do play in Madison Square Garden, so I think that's pretty cool. And then if you are interested in playing a sport, club, or intramural, not in the Division I level, we have a bunch of sports available to you as well. For studying abroad, these are our staple programs. So Global Passport is a first-year program for a freshman. You can go to Rome or Paris after the end of your semester, whether it's the fall or spring semester. Then we have Western Europe semester, where you'll spend 5 weeks in each country that's listed right there. So 5 weeks in Rome, 5 weeks in Paris, 5 weeks in Ireland. You can take 2 courses in each of those countries. So you really get to see many different countries within one semester. And then Study Abroad Latin America, which is another one of our popular programs. You can go to Costa Rica and Colombia. But there's many other places that students can go in terms of studying abroad as well. So in terms of internships and job placements, we have a 94% placement rate. A lot of that has to do with being in New York City. There's obviously a lot of different top companies, different industries. So this short list here, you see sports from the Islanders to Major League Baseball to healthcare with Norfolk Health, to media with NBC, to law enforcement, criminal justice and FBI and New York City Police Department. So there's a lot of different areas you can intern in. Most of our majors require internships. So I think a lot of that has to do with the job placement rate. Quickly, I'll run through the application requirements. So we are fully test optional this year. We are a test optional school. We did have a couple of exceptions for certain majors, but this year, literally all of our majors are test optional. But if you do want to submit test scores, the average test score is a 1200 SAT or a 25 ACT with super scoring, and our average GPA is a 3.5 weighted. If you're going test optional, it is imperative to submit these documents here. So 2 letters, a rec, an essay, and we do take resumes. That does get accounted for in terms of your application. So definitely send those in if you have those. And here's just our application deadlines: early decision, November 15th, early action, December 1st. And then after that, rolling admissions. The only 2 programs with an actual hard deadline are pharmacy and biooptometry, which will be February 1st. Here's just some of the list of our scholarships. Merit scholarships run from $5,000 to $30,000 per year. The ones with a date have a separate application. So merit is automatic. You don't have to worry about the application. If you go to a Catholic school, that's automatic as well. So the ones with a date are the ones you have to actually fill out a separate application for. This is just a list of our tuition: $43,000 for the Queens campus, $30,000 for Staten Island, and room and boards around $17,000. And then almost finishing up here, these dates are outdated. We do have a open house coming up in November. So if you have an interest in that, let me know. And it's virtual, so I'll definitely be able to hook you up with that. And then the last slide here is just my contact information and how to get some virtual visits with us. So we do have ways to chat with us. We have drone videos. We have 3D videos of the campus. So if you want to know what the campus really looks like, definitely check out the link right there. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the fair, and I'll pass it on now.
Excellent. Our next presenter is Macalester College.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Happy to be here. Let me get my video on real quick. There we go. Hi, folks. Thank you so much for coming in this evening, and welcome to this presentation. My name is Ben Kaufman, one of the assistant directors of admission at Macalester College. I use he, him pronouns, Mac grad, class of 2016. Feel free to send some questions along during the presentation here as we get started. Really excited to talk to you about Macalester today. My contact information is available on this slide. It'll also be available on the next, the end slide as well. So Macalester College is a small, private liberal arts and sciences institution where students really will experience the best of both worlds, not only an inspiring academic program of liberal arts and sciences education, but you'll also be able to combine that with the energy and opportunities of the Twin Cities of Minnesota, which is St. Paul and Minneapolis, as you can see on screen here. Our academics are ranked in the top 20 in the United States with small class sizes, individualized attention, and collaboration serving as the pillars of the student experience. Students will work side by side with professors, not only inside the classroom, but also in laboratory settings, on stage, on study away programs, or in more than 60 courses we offer each year that will directly partner you with a local Twin Cities organization or business. And ranging all the way from your first year experience to your capstone courses in your senior year, intellectual exploration is really the foundation of a Macalester education. We draw students from every corner of the globe with nearly 2,100 students in our student body coming from 98 countries in all 50 states. Students find rich discussions and a deep understanding of the world through those experiences, both inside and outside the classroom, and those interactions with your peers as well. And we have over 100 active student organizations on campus that contribute to lasting friendships and a strong sense of community on campus, where our students really can enjoy a variety of interests from things like art, comedy, culture, dance clubs. We have forensics teams, a gaming club, investing club, Mac Radio, something that I participated in when I was a student at Macalester, all the way to things like musical ensembles, political groups, religious groups, rocketry club, slam poets, and software development, just to name a handful of examples. And these groups really do help our students to explore their identity, to engage with their interests, and also to expand their talents in a variety of different ways. On top of that, Macalester has 19 varsity athletic teams at the Division III level, as well as a handful of club and intramural sports available. We have an athletic and wellness complex that includes a large fitness center, indoor track, gymnasium, natatorium, field house, and more, of course. Being in a winter climate where we are, it is necessary to have indoor athletic facilities in addition to the outdoor facilities we also have. And our athletic teams frequently earn the highest cumulative GPA in the nation for Division III student athletes. On top of academic excellence, internationalism, multiculturalism, and service to society are the other three values which will shape the Macalester campus culture. And these values really are meant to empower our students to create positive change around the world and to make a difference in the world as well. The United Nations flag has flown on campus since 1950, and student-led social movements have been happening on campus since the 1960s, both of which symbolize our commitment to internationalism and our commitment to a way of life that is made stronger through the diversity that we have on our campus, diversity of many different kinds. To touch on admissions financial aid a little bit, I'll actually start with the financial aid portion at the bottom of the screen here. We have a robust financial aid program that supports the enrollment of bright, talented students from around the world and around the United States. Macalester provides a financial aid package that is equal to 100% of demonstrated financial need for every student. 2 out of every 3 Macalester students receives need-based aid, again, meeting 100% of demonstrated need for all of those students. And we do also provide significant merit-based scholarship. About half of our students every year receive merit scholarship. The best preparation for applying to Macalester is a balanced and rigorous high school curriculum. We are a selective institution. We do believe it's important to take classes in all 5 academic core subjects during your time in high school. So those would be English, mathematics, history or social studies, language arts, laboratory science, and world language. We do expect students to pursue honors, advanced placement, or international baccalaureate courses if those are available at your high school. That being said, we do evaluate each applicant's record in their high school context, paying particular attention to an applicant's curricular opportunities and resources. Factors such as academic performance, teacher recommendations, essays, leadership experience, and extracurricular involvement are all thoroughly reviewed by the admissions committee. Standardized test scores are completely optional for us for admission as well as for merit scholarship. You have the option to send them or not. If you do send in your scores, we will review them as just one new data point amongst the entire set of data points that makes up your application file. And to wrap things up, just want to mention that about 37% of our domestic students identify as students of color. 1 out of every 6 students is an international student. 1 in 6 students is first generation to college. Over 50% of our student body does research by the time they graduate, with 80% of our STEM majors conducting research by the time they graduate. About 2/3 of our students will complete an internship for academic credit by the time they leave Macalester. About 60% of our students will study away for one full semester or more. And really, we have a deep focus on campus on collaboration and exploration, not just academically, but professionally, personally, and community-wise as well, really trying to discover and explore new fields, new ideas, new perspectives. And that really does summarize MAC in hopefully less than 6 minutes. I'll pass it along to the next presenter. Thank you so much for your time and looking forward to answering some questions.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Seton Hall College.
Okay. Let me just see if I can share my screen. Hold on just one moment. Oops. Well, it is not pulling up my screen, so I think what I'll do is I'll just give my presentation. And let's see. No, I don't know why. Anyway, let me begin. So hi, everyone. My name's Mary Claire Cullum, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Seton Hall University, and I'm actually stepping in for Lisa Hansen, who covers our West Coast.
If you want to try your screen again, we do have some time.
Do we? Let me just see. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I don't know why it wasn't sharing before, but now it seems to be. So let's see. There we go. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So again, Mary Claire Cullum, Director of Admissions at Seton Hall University, and I'm stepping in for our regional counselor, Lisa Hansen, who's actually in flight right now. So Seton Hall is one of the country's leading Catholic universities. We have been developing the minds of students, the hearts of students, and the spirits of students since 1856. So with a little math in mind, that's for over 160 years. We're considered a mid-sized school, and we are home to over 6,200 undergraduate students, and we offer more than 90 rigorous programs or majors. Seton Hall's academic excellence has been singled out for distinction by Princeton Review, U.S. News and World Report, and Bloomberg Business Week. Now, our main campus is located in the suburban village of South Orange, New Jersey, but we're only 14 miles outside of New York City, which is a 30-minute train ride away. It's important to note that we attract many students from the West Coast because they are interested in our very long list of dual degree options. And by that, I mean, you can start as a freshman in college and go straight on through to get your master's degree and even your doctorate. So all of our colleges offer these types of pathways. And the ones that I'd like to point out that are most of most interest to students from the West Coast are our joint MD program. It's a 7-year medical program. Our dual degree law programs with pathways through our College of Business, our School of Diplomacy and International Relations, through political science, social work, and religion. In addition to our direct entry nursing program, which again is very popular with West Coast students, we offer dual health degrees in physician assistant, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech language and pathology, as well as athletic training. And we also offer a multitude of dual business master's degrees and degrees through diplomacy as well. Additionally, students in our colleges have access to very competitive internships. In fact, we are ranked number 4 in the nation for our internship program with over 17,000 options. So like you just heard from St. John's, and you'll see some of the same businesses that were just shown, there's something to be said about the proximity to New York City or actually being in New York City. So it gives you a real advantage to getting some of the best businesses on your resume. So over 80% of our students complete 3 to 5 internships before they graduate, which has helped place Seton Hall in the top 25% for the highest paid graduates, with mid-year earnings that are 50% higher than the national average. And we have something new this year. We're also offering a brand new financial technology program, one of only 2 programs in the entire country right now that's offered through our School of Business. And our School of Business is in the top 1% of business schools in the world based on our AACSB accreditation. So it's also important for me to mention that our excellent business leadership program, which has been ranked #1 in the country now for the past 5 years, is just phenomenal. And I like to boast that the schools that we beat out are schools like Yale and Cornell, Harvard, so forth and so on. And through these programs, you get one-on-one mentorships, extra market research opportunities, weekly seminars taught by top professors in the New York City area and top professionals in the city as well. And you are taught by experts in the field how to be leaders in the field. And finally, it's really important to note that Seton Hall is very, very big on school spirit, and our students like to have a lot of fun and they love to get involved. We have over 150 clubs and organizations. Our Model UM team has been ranked #12 in the nation this past year, and our debate team won over 300 awards in 2019. We're also a Division I school. We're part of the Big East Conference, which is very, very exciting conference. We have 22 Greek organizations and 25 club and intramural sports programs, and about 50% of our students participate in them as well. So we're a very, very active campus, lots to do weeknights, lots to do over the weekend. So lastly, I would like to just say that we have gone test optional this year. We did that because of COVID-19. And there is only one exception to that program, and that is our Joint MD program. And even if you submit your application as test optional, you will still be considered for merit scholarship, and 98% of our applicants and admitted students do receive merit scholarship. So if you have any questions, here's our contact information, and I can drop it in the chat as well.
Thank you. Our next presenter and final presenter is Marymount College, Marymount Manhattan College.
Alrighty, good evening, everyone. My name is Alexis McPadden, and I am the West Coast Admission Counselor for Marymount Manhattan College. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and thank you for sticking around to hear about Marymount Manhattan College. As I mentioned, my name is Alexis McPadden. I am a 2018 alum of the college. I was a double major in business and communications while studying at Marymount. So we will get started. So just some quick facts about Marymount. We are founded in 1936 as an all-girls Catholic school. We are now a co-ed school with no religious affiliation. We're not affiliated with any other Marymounts around the United States. We are located in New York City on the Upper East Side. I like to think it's the greatest city in the world. We have St. John's here with us today out in Queens. So definitely, if you're interested in coming to the East Coast, take a look at some of the schools that are here tonight. Student to faculty ratio is 11:1, with our curriculum being 31 majors and 45 minors for students to choose from. We do have 2 residence halls, and we guarantee housing all 4 years, so you never have to move off campus if you don't want to. Both residence halls are apartment style, so no communal bathrooms. You're going to be sharing a bathroom with just the students you share a front door with. And the apartments do also have kitchenettes in them, so you can bring a crock pot, a toaster oven, you can cook for yourself. It's a really nice apartment. I lived on the 30th floor with a downtown view my freshman year, so it's hard to beat when you are a first year in college. 82% of our first year students do live on campus. Although being in New York City, we are all technically commuters, so we do have a large commuter population as well. And no matter if you're coming from the West Coast, coming from middle of America, coming from New England, Northeast area, you're going to have students that are also living on campus or living off campus. As for majors, I mentioned we have 31 active majors on campus this year. Constantly adding new majors depending on what students are interested in. And although it's not required, double majoring is encouraged. So one of the examples I love to give is one of my friends was a dance BFA choreography major, double majoring in that and biology. And so her final project was to choreograph a dance, and she choreographed a dance that depicted cell division. So, you know, Marymount is a great place for cross collaboration between different departments. If there's lots of different things you're interested in, Marymount might be a great place to pursue those. You can actually triple major at Marymount. So if you're really interested in, again, multiple different areas, Marymount could be the school for you. Being in New York City, we have New York City as our entire campus. So you're not going to be spending every class in the classroom. You're going to be using New York as your campus. We have a course for all first-year students that we call New York City 101, and it is a crash course in living in New York, especially if you're coming from the West Coast. Maybe you haven't spent a ton of time in New York, and it's your first time moving away from home. Marymount will assist you through that. So it is taught by, the class is taught by an academic advisor that will help guide you through your first semester, along with picking classes for the next semester for spring. They will assist you with everything for that first year class. One of the most popular topics of that class, or the most popular section of that class, is called Eating New York. And that is a history class. So once a week as a class, you're going around to different neighborhoods in the city and you're eating the food that's local to that neighborhood. You're learning about the history and immigration patterns. So it's a really fun class. It is an academic setting, but you're learning how to live in New York. So how to refill your Metro card, how to get on the train, what trains to take to what stations. And although the news has been saying it, New York is very much not dead. Lots of people are still out wearing their masks, but New York is a great place to be for college. We are virtual this semester, but hopefully by 2021, when all of our current seniors are entering, we will be back on campus. Even though we're virtual this year, students are still interning, and internships are a major part at Marymount. They're not required, but definitely encouraged for our students, being that we are in New York City. There's so many different business capitals here, whether you're interested in finance or fashion or TV, daytime talk shows are a huge internship opportunity for our students, no matter what you're majoring in. We also have lots of different nonprofits from around the city that students will intern as well. So you can do up to 5 for credit, and students definitely take full advantage of that. Important dates, stats, and requirements. So we have 3 application processes: early decision, which is a binding agreement; early action, which is non-binding, and most students do apply early action, and then anything after December 1st is read on a rolling basis. No matter which option you choose for your application, whether it's early decision, early action, or regular decision, you will be considered for merit scholarship. So no matter when you apply, you'll be considered for merit scholarship. And we are test optional as well as many of the other colleges this evening. It won't affect your merit scholarships if you don't submit test scores. That is, again, just a piece that we will look at, but it does not heavily affect. We look at your application holistically. So we want to look at your rigor of courses, what you're taking, definitely your letter of recommendation, and then also your essay as well. Just to give you a sense of our averages, even though we are test optional, average SAT is an 1100, average ACT is a 24, and average GPA is a 3.6. And then we welcome you to stay connected. Please feel free to scan the QR code on the bottom left and register for tonight's event. And then we do also have a fee waiver for this year to waive the $60 application fee. So Griffin Strong 21, and you'll be able to waive that fee. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and have a great night. Thank you for joining me.
Okay, we have a little time left, so if our panelists are interested, we could do maybe just one round of questions. I guess maybe to start, if you could all maybe just share a favorite tradition from your campus. And I guess maybe we can start in the order that we started in with Beacon College.
Sure. I think that we have about 440 students on our campus. So our biggest weekend of the year is Parents Weekend. And they do a gala dinner and dance. And so our students get really excited about that.
I was like, wait, I think it's me.
I think yes, St. John's.
One of the biggest things at St. John's, when we have our Midnight Madness event, it's always centered around a special weekend. So it's always on a Friday, although we usually start at 8 or 9 o'clock. Don't know why we call it Midnight Madness because it's not midnight, but there's always events after the event is over. Usually have a performer. A lot of times we get featured ESPN with it. But then the next day, which is one thing that I love in the morning, is we have our our service day, which is where we usually have about 2,000 to 3,000 people, not just students, but staff, administrators, dedicate themselves to a day of community service. So that's one thing that I really love to see, that kind of combination in one weekend.
Those both sound awesome. Love to participate in those, except I don't go to those schools. But they sound great. At Macalester, we have an event that we host every fall called the International Round Table, which is a symposium that we host that always has a theme each year to focus around a particular global issue or global challenge that we hope to come together to talk about, to discuss. Students have the opportunity to present their research at the International Roundtable, meet with community members from outside the Macalester community who will come to campus to present. Last year, our theme for the International Roundtable was looking at the idea of race around the world and how race in the United States means something different than it does in other countries, and even in the US, the idea of race means different things in different regions. A few years ago, there was a topic about the global refugee crises that were happening around 2013, 2014. So the International Roundtable really is a community event, but also is a great opportunity for learning, for sharing ideas, and for trying to constructively think of solutions to some of the problems we see around the world today.
Okay. So Seton Hall University, there are two really big ones. I'm going to just choose one of them. One involves running across campus and rubbing the foot of a pirate statue, but I'm going to talk about our Christmas tradition. So Seton Hall for years now has been ranked #1 for Christmas spirit by who I don't know, but we're always competing with another school in Philadelphia area, which a lot of you would know what school that was. But every year around, December 9th, we do a Christmas tree lighting. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. It's not really showing. It's a huge tree similar to Rockefeller Center in New York City, where some of my colleagues are. And what happens is we do this major countdown. We have a skating rink that we put up around it, and we skate and we do Christmas carols and we put on production and we dance and we all wear blue Santa caps, and it is an absolute blast. And it usually makes the news, and it goes on for hours and hours and hours. And we are in person this year, but you can attend remotely, but we do have a lot of students on campus. But this year we're going to do it in person and virtual, so every one of our students can attend, and we're going to send the links out to everyone to try to pull it all together to make this year as normal as possible. But it's a wonderful, wonderful tradition. It takes about a month and a half to get the lights on the tree. So it's fun.
And at Marymount, there are a little smaller events, but one of my favorites as a student and now as an admission counselor is our annual drag show. Those are Marymount students that are coming dressed in drag as their drag queens. And that's one of my favorite events. We also have essentially a block party. We call it Apple Fest at the beginning of the fall year, and all of our clubs have tables. There's lots of free stuff. College kids love free stuff. And it's a great way to see what clubs are being offered on campus. We always have live music and different raffles and things like that, but it's a great welcoming back and welcome to campus for our first year students. So that's at Marymount.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing. And thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. As you click out, you will get a 4-question survey. Please answer that very quick, but we'd love the feedback. Again, please sign up for more sessions. And this recording will be available within about a week at the website, where you can not only sign up for more sessions, but where you registered as well. So thank you and have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Bye.